My key takeaways from today is that there is a real diversity of approaches to what regeneration is. This is not something to be overwhelmed by, this is something to feel actually really optimistic about, because there are so many different contexts within which we need to work, and we need that diversity for the work to be really, really effective. So we can take some principles that can be applied around the country, but what we really need is some solid, inspiring examples of how it works in practice. And I feel like that's really what we got today here, a real diversity of examples of how to try and work in more regenerative ways.
Time. I think time is a word that I think have come up for me in different ways, from the grounding exercise to the panel, but most importantly in the workshops, and how in a current system that we operate in, time feels really scarce and limited, and actions that we want to do requires everybody to devote their time, but actually if we take a step back to walk away from that system, and then how we relate with time might open up.
I think the role that artists in particular play in tackling climate crisis is really undervalued at the moment. I think they bring such creativity, different ways of viewing the world. We work really internationally, so we work with people with vastly lived experience, different contexts coming together. And I think there needs to be a lot of kind of education across the board amongst commissioners and funders, organisations, to kind of really allow those voices to be heard.
So the importance of regenerative art practice for me is the way in which artists and communities engage with their environments to deliver really sustainable and really rewarding solutions for everybody concerned. And for me, what was being expressed today about accepting the realities of what's going on with our climate, not always assuming that things could be fixed, but sometimes you have to work with the flow of what's actually changing, was a real learning about what the meaning of the word regenerative is in that context.
I would say this symposium has really helped me just hear more from other practitioners who are also concerned with regenerative art practice. And so that's from artists directly, which is always really important. And about some of the concerns, but also some of the hope and understanding that some of the practice is forming. So it's always great to make new contacts too in these circumstances.